Okay, we are back. Hey, Bryce. So, I'm headed out in the Challenger MT775E, and I'm running the John Deere 2100 Ripper. I'm going to be ripping up some fields ahead of the disc. And I also did buy the 8370 RT, but I'm going to leave that at the store for now. I'm going to pick it up later. Getting 20 frames right now. That's not good. But I'm going to head up and rip field 5, get that worked up. Used to the steering on this tractor. It's so much different than the 9R. I will still be using the 9R for tillage, running the disc, but I figured I should get the Challenger and rip the fields a little bit, subsoil every few years. But being we have brand new John Deere combines now, we'll be using them to harvest these crops in the next few days, probably early autumn. We'll harvest the corn and stuff. It just depends on when I get sent the new map. If he sends it to me ahead of time, if not, then we'll wait until the full release of it. But we'll see. That depends on what we do in the next couple days. Alright, so we're at the field. We're going to be ripping up a wheat field. Actually, I don't know if I'm going to use the John. No, I'm already here, so I'm going to use it for now. I might end up getting the Landau one and using that. But being I'm already at the field, I'll just use the Challenger. Or the John Deere Ripper. So the Landau would be a little bit wider. And the tractor would be able to handle it. I can't wait for the next version because of the multi-fruit and multi-terrain angle too. That's going to be awesome. Because right now, terrain obviously doesn't follow the Ripper. This is probably going to be probably a, I don't know, 40-minute stream or 45-minute, depending on how long I feel like going. But this was winter wheat last year, and I don't know what's going to go into it next. It just depends on the next version of the map. But if I don't have multi-fruit in, and say that version doesn't come out for a little while yet, then I'll just probably plant beans or corn in it. If that new version comes out, who knows, it might be oats or rye or I don't know. But I really like the Road Track Challenger MT775. But this is the field I picked up all that straw out of for the dairy. Which, if anyone's watching either in the live stream or in the comments, does someone know where you put the straw for the cows bedding? I can't figure it out. I looked around for a good hour and I couldn't find it. It's probably right there, but I didn't see it. Because I'm using a skid steer and a bucket to move the straw, because we're not using bales, so I don't have a blower. But I don't think that makes a difference. Alright, I'm gonna go back over here and get lined back up with the GPS. It's easier that way. Then we'll run this over with the disc before it gets planted. Probably next year now. But Fisher's in field 37. I'm working up field 5. You get some pretty nice screenshots when the sun's starting to go down. Of course, it's summer now, so the days are longer. And I like this wheat texture so much better. It actually looks like wheat, not grass when you harvest. But yeah, I'm thinking the Challenger's gonna stay around. It doesn't really fit in with the rest of our equipment because literally everything else is deer. But I think the Challenger will mix in with the deer. I mean, it looks pretty good. Oh jeez, that's lag. But yeah, I'm thinking the Challenger will fit in pretty nicely. And the only other tractor that we have that, or there's two tractors that we have that aren't Deere. And one is the Alice Chalmers, which we never use. And the small Massey Ferguson.
Isn't the Case one too? The old one that we use at the dairy farm?
Oh yeah, and we have that old FS17. So 4 of our tractors are not Deere, but everything else is. And I figured this tractor fit pretty good with the Ripper. And this tractor has plenty of horsepower. No problem pulling this Ripper at all. But I think I will do a little mini series on like the West Coast by Bullet Bill. It is a British farm, I believe. So I will do a small series or streams or whatever on it throughout the day. It won't be the main focus of my streams, but I do plan on doing a little showcase on it because he has put a lot of time into it. I think he said he put over 1,500 hours into making the map. So I kind of want to show it off and just stream it, support him because he spent so much time on that map. So I'm going to do a series on that when it comes out. I don't use Courseplay for the main reason that I can do everything usually myself along with my brother. I usually do that. I haven't used Courseplay at all in Farm Sim 17. I mean, I hardly ever use any hired workers anyway. But yeah, this field's not going to take very long at all. But yeah, I worked up a new field that we might use. My brother is in the 9RX. He's disking with the 26 to 23 disc. But I worked up field 25, which is just a small little strip north of the sheep farm. But I do plan on working up a lot of the field, some of the fields around the map, just so we can use them whenever we want, if we need to. We can use different fields at different years too. We don't always have to use the same fields. But I want to figure out how to use the Bank of Hagenstedt mod, because you can buy, sell, lease fields. So I want to be like, own a couple fields, and then like real farmers would do, most of them anyway, is lease out a lot of their fields or lease fields from other farmers. and I want to do that just for the realism. But both new combines are there, sitting at the farm behind the trees there. We have to get all the headers organized and get the combines ready to go for fall harvest. And then once we get that all done, we'll power wash them, put them in the shed, and get them ready to go for the summer harvest next year. And then somehow in the middle of this, we gotta make third crop hay. But we should have time after we do all our fall tillage to make third crop. And after either this fall or in the spring, I'd like to put down anhydrous ammonia because it's a good fertilizer bonus. And I'd like to put some of that down. I have the toolbar back at the farm down there. I'm thinking I'm going to put it down on ground that I'm going to be planting corn in next year for the nitrogen boost, but that's probably only the fields I'll do. Is the one that's going to be going into corn. Corn or beans, probably, actually. Yeah, I mean, this is a 9-shank ripper. I could go up to an 11-shank, but I'd have to check the horsepower ratings of both the tractor and the chisel and see if this Challenger could pull it. It is a V ripper. It doesn't fold, so it takes up a lot of the road, but I don't know. I'll have to buy it, see if I like it or not for this map, because I think this ripper fits pretty good. But yeah, it goes pretty fast actually ripping with this. Alright, so this Challenger, I was scrolling through on my phone, I found a new Challenger, same thing as this one, but it's going to be replacing this one because it'll have the option for the in-track saddle tanks, which we'll use for planting sometimes, and anhydrous and stuff. We'll be using that. So I gotta download that tonight. I don't know how many hectares the biggest field is. I haven't gone through the Bank of Hagenstedt yet, and I haven't gone through. My guess, from looking at the map here, is field 31. Or 23. 31 or 23 looks like they're the biggest. Not sure exact number, but just by looking at the map, that's my guess. And I did buy the 8RT, like I said earlier, because we'll have the the John Deere saddle tanks for that tractor also, just to have them, because we might use that tractor for planting one year maybe, because we have the helicopter tanks for the 8Rs, and then the saddle tanks for these two tractors, so we have a choice of planting tractors. We had a few little passes there, and then a little bit up here, we'll be done with this field. Usually when I've tried to stream in 1080 before, I think it's my internet, because I'm hosting this game on my internet and also streaming from it. The broadcast quality, it'll stop the stream. The video will stop the stream because it can't connect to YouTube. So I drop it down a little bit just because I don't want to have to keep starting and stopping the stream. Because this isn't a dedicated server, so I'm running it off my internet also. I mean, I might look in and mess around with my broadcast settings and see what I can figure out. Because I mean, I'd like to try to stream in 1080. And maybe drop the bitrate down a little bit or something like that. Alright, one more pass on this part, then I'll go up and finish that top part real quick. Then I'll probably hop in the 9R and just a little bit. Because I'd like to end up ripping most of the fields on the map, or that we own anyway, because of the plowing. Because the disc we have right now doesn't plow like it should. Which I might just have to go in and edit this disc and add the multi-plow strip to it from the big bud pack that allows it to be a subsoiler. I might just have to do that because the disc should plow also. Alright, I'm gonna work up here because this is actually part grass here and it won't let you, there we go. That's the one problem with the track tractors with horseplay is they can't keep themselves straight when you're first lining them up. Yeah, it didn't take long at all to work up this field. I mean, with the 9-shank ripper, it seems like it would take a bit longer. Okay, well, here I'm gonna have to pull all the way forward, back up, because I can't turn around here. Alright, one more pass on this field, then I'll park this off to the side of the farm and go grab the 9R. Not sure if we're going to disc this field right away or if I'm going to start a different one. I'm just going to park this here actually. But yeah, if you didn't see earlier, these are the combines we bought. They're FS17, fully American combines. Because most of the ones out there that we found were either terrible or they were European. And these are pretty good and American, like I want, so. But yeah, this is where I'm at in the dairy farm, barn A. Oops. You would have thought you would have dumped the straw back in here where there would be bedding down in their stalls and stuff like that. But I can't find anywhere to dump it back here because it just piles up on the ground. I tried also on this side and back in here in the back part of the shed, and it won't let me dump it. So if anyone knows, let me know, that'd be great, because we got a bucket of straw here and I can't figure out what to do with it. Oh yeah, here's the 8RT. Trying to find my 9R. There it is. Oh yeah, there's field 25 there, just a nice little small strip. Worked up field 5, it does need to be disked. You're working on 37. We really only have to do field 5 for now.
And I'm done with field 37.
Oh, okay.
I just have to touch up a few spots.
Okay, because then I have to do field 5 real quick. And then we'll get the combines probably sorted out. Hey, Mr. Greg. Yeah, fly the 9R up there, hit that field real quick. Won't take long at all. But Krisher, on the RX there for harvest, we'll probably run the row track option.
No.
Because for tillage you need the wide track most of the time, especially on the hills on here for pulling the disc. But for harvest, I'd rather run a row track. Just for realism, even though compaction isn't a thing in farm sim, but I'd still rather run a row track. I would have thought by now someone would have came out with a script for compaction because of how the plowing works in farm sim now, where you can plow every 3 years or 3 harvests. I would have thought someone would have came out with the compaction script. It'd be something nice to have though, because it's realistic. But yeah, we're just wrapping up summer tillage, and then we have to go into harvest and third crop hay and a lot of busy stuff, and then plant winter wheat. And feeding cattle and keeping up on that. So. Alright, field 5 is just right here. I'm lagging really bad. There's so much equipment there. Yeah, this field's not going to take very long at all with this thing. Alright, we're up. And it's actually supposed to rain tonight on here, but that's not going to affect anything that we're doing because harvest is still a few days away. So I'm not really worried about the rain getting the crops wet or anything. I am going to set up GPS for this because it's just going to make it easier. You're done down there?
Yep.
Okay. I don't really have anything. Well, if you want, you can take one of the combines down, pick up the corn heads, and burn them back. if you want. Or I guess we'll do it tomorrow.
I can do it, I just don't want to.
Well, I mean, that's really the only thing we can't do right now. So I'm not quite done with tillage yet. And we're going to be harvesting in the next day or two.
Should I just bring both of them back?
Yeah, I mean, you can either take both combines and follow me and bring them both back, or take one
Yeah.
and go back and forth.
No.
Okay. Alright, get back over here where the GPS is. Yeah, I'm really excited to harvest with the new combines. Bryce, I actually don't farm in real life. I never actually have owned a farm or worked on one. I wish I did. I'm looking into working on a farm in real life. That would be something I'm interested in. Yeah, my family's actually never lived on a farm or worked on one. My grandpa actually just worked on a farm, up in the town north of us. But I think the farm now is about 1,000 acres. But, alright, I'm gonna have to wrap up the stream here. I kinda lost track of time. I'll probably live stream again tomorrow morning, probably finishing up tillage and stuff, so. Thanks everyone for watching, and we'll see you in the next live stream.